All right, hello. This is Introduction to Bardeen, and we're talking about playbooks, how we look for them, how we find them, and how we tweak them. So there are many ways to find Bardeen playbooks. First, the most obvious one, you can just go to Google and search. So for example, I want to use a playbook to make my meetings more efficient, and I love taking meeting notes, but usually it takes a bit for me to prepare the document containing the notes, share it with everyone, make it look nice, etc. before the meeting. So what about if we try to see if there's anything that Bardeen can do to help us with that? Like I said, there are a few ways to look for playbooks. First and foremost, you can, of course, look for playbooks in Bardeen itself. And so let's say I'm looking for a calendar and a Google Doc integration. And so when I search, I already see a few interesting playbooks here. Most notably, this one, create a Google Doc for a given event. I don't yet know what it does, but we'll find out. The same way I can search for playbooks on Google. This is also a common way people discover playbooks. So you can do calendar, Google Doc, and then just limit it to Bardeen AI website. And it's going to come up with a lot of different ideas and blog posts and materials on how to do this integration and what the options are. And once you found something, you can just click try this in Bardeen, and then Bardeen will open up and you should be good to go. Now, all right, so let's see what we're looking at here. So this automation is going to create a Google document, and it's also going to open the document. Great. Let's go over this step by step and see what actually happens. So first step, it says, find the event in your Google Calendar that matches provided name. All right, so let's say I want to create meeting notes for my research sync meeting. Okay, so it got the information about the meeting. Okay, then it says get title of the event. Okay, great. Create a new Google Doc with the title of the event. So I guess this one is going to just create a Google Doc and it's going to open it. This is a good start, but what if I want to make it a tad bit more interesting? What if I'm meeting with these people for the first time, and what if I want to get some research on them and understand their background better before I head into a meeting? So let's ask Bardeen to do that for us. Get meeting participants enriched information into the doc. So Bardeen is going to process our query and come up with its interpretation of what we want. So it's going to, after it has created the event document and opened it, it's going to extract the email addresses of the event attendees. It's going to store them in a sheet, which I don't know how useful it is for us. So we can just go ahead and delete that. And then it's going to do get a person's data, add a text to Google Doc. Okay, well, that looks interesting. Let's run and see what happens. Again, so let's pick the same meeting, the research sync. We're still in testing mode, so we are basically tuning and tweaking the playbook to our needs before we go ahead and save it for future use. All right, so it opened the doc, and if I go back, this is where it will continue the execution. So let's see what the playbook does. It extracted a bunch of emails, then it ran those emails through an enrichment service to find out who the people behind those emails are, and then it ran a command to add it to our Google Doc. And yeah, lo and behold, we got a lot of information added here. I think it's a bit messy, so what I would like to do is to ask it to clean this a bit up, and instead of everything all at once, I only want their full name, their title, their email, their LinkedIn, and let's say organization that they represent. Let's ask Bardeen to do that and see if it will comply. By the way, at this point, we can also do this manually. We do not have to do this with AI. We can do this by switching off the simple mode. We can go to customize tab of each respective action, and there we will see what exactly is happening. So here you'll see that it dumps the entire content of enrichment into the Google Doc. That's why you see so much information here. Let's ask it to do something slightly different with AI. Let's see if it does what we want. Instead of adding all of enrichment, only add a name, email, organization, position, and LinkedIn URL. Let's see what happens. All right, it came with an answer, and let's run it again and see what it's going to do this time. This looks much cleaner, but it seems like it's still missing a few fields that we asked it to add. So we can do this last step manually, because AI is obviously not perfect, can miss things sometimes. So what we can do here, we can go and add missing fields that we requested by hand, and this is how we do it. Let's see how it works. Let's first clean what we had there before, and let's run this command again. By the way, you will notice that when I run this command, it's not going to run the entire playbook again, but it's only running the command that we have modified. All right, this looks much better. With this, we're ready to rock and roll and use this playbook for our needs. I'm going to be running it manually, so I saved it as a playbook. Obviously, it can be saved as an autobook if we want to run it automatically on schedule or at certain time intervals. And yeah, so now whenever I need to do some research, create some custom docs, meeting notes for my meeting, I can just come here, run this automation, and Bardeen will do it for me. So just a quick recap. We just saw how to search for playbooks in Bardeen. We can do that in Bardeen itself, as well as using Google, and then find playbook on our web page and then run them from Bardeen. We also saw that sometimes we don't find the exact playbook that we need, and we need to tweak and tune it, which we can do using AI. And finally, we also saw that if AI doesn't get exactly what we want to do, we can always tune it manually using the interface that Bardeen provides. Hope this was helpful. In the next edition of this series, we're going to talk about how to create more sophisticated playbooks that interact with the web, capture rich information, and do a lot of cool stuff with that. Stay tuned.